Now imagine, what if that person is the one who destroys you? Think about the person you trust most right now. Your closest friend, your partner, your business partner. This is not a story from 2,000 years ago. Your business partner.
This is a story about a pattern inside the human brain that has never changed. And it is happening around you right now. On March 15th, 44 BC Titcher, Julius Caesar, the most powerful man who had ever lived, walked into a room full of people he trusted. He never walked out. A man he had saved, protected, and trusted with everything he had built. His name was Brutus. But what did that moment truly mean for the future of their relationship?
A question leads to inquiry. It's time to investigate further.
Because Brutus was not evil. He was not a traitor in the way we usually think of traitors. And that is what makes this story terrifying. It was not a cold-blooded murder.
It was a man who had been so carefully, so precisely manipulated Mistrade
That he destroyed the person he loved and called it duty.
By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how it happened, step by step, layer by layer. We've reached the pinnacle of understanding. Now, look closely at who holds the real power.
Caesar was not born powerful. He was born into a family that had lost everything. His father died when he was 16.
He grew up in the slums of Rome Ghet, in an area called the Subura, filled with crime, poverty, and violence. But Caesar had something most people in poverty do not have: Aubry.
He had an obsessive belief that he was destined for greatness.
Even as a teenager, he told people he would rule Rome. They laughed at him.
Psychologists call this grandiose self-belief. In most people, it fades. They get rejected, they adjust their expectations, they become realistic.
He had conquered Gaul, which is modern France, giving Rome more land than it had gained in the previous 100 years combined.
Rome didn't just respect him, they needed him. And here is where the psychological trap was set.
Not by Caesar's enemies, but by success itself.
Not the resentment of enemies, that is simple.
This is what the Senate felt. And this is what Brutus felt.
And the Senate, Hail, a group of older, proud, aristocratic men, the Philly, watched as a soldier from the slums accumulated more power than all of them combined. They did not act on hatred. They acted on wounded pride.
Now overhead, before we go further with planning, ask yourself something.
In this scenario, we see the designated expert leading the discussion, utilizing their certified skills to guide the team forward. More successful? More energetic than everyone else? Do you remember how it made the others feel? The Senate had felt that way for 20 years. And now they had found the one person, Alcee, the one perfect weapon, Alcee, who could be shaped to do what they could not do themselves.
How they shaped him is one of the most sophisticated psychological operations in recorded history.
Brutus was not a weak man. That is the first thing you need to understand. He was educated, respected, and deeply principled. He believed in the Roman Republic more than anything else in the world. The Senate knew this, and manipulation tactic number 1 is this. Gov, do not attack a person's values.
Instead, convince them that what you want is the only way to protect what they already believe in.
The Senate did not say, "Kill Caesar for us." They said, "The republic you love is dying. Caesar is killing it." Notice what they did there. They did not tell Brutus to betray Caesar.
This is a familiar scene, right? One person trying to persuade another. But understanding how the brain processes this information is key.
This something larger icon appears grand, but watch closely. It was actually quite small and hollow underneath. Now, Chapter 2.
The Senate targeted Brutus's identity, not his interests. Interests can be negotiated, but identity cannot. They reminded Brutus that his ancestor, too, Lucius Junius Brutus, had founded the Roman Republic by overthrowing a king.
They were telling him, "Your family blood requires this of you. This is your destiny." And they went further.
Wake up, Brutus. Rome needs you. Are you even your ancestors' blood?
Anonymous letters began appearing on Brutus's chair in the Senate, on his statue, on his doorstep. And that doubt, that tiny crack in his self-image, is where manipulation enters. Tactic number 3.
This is identity manipulation at its most surgical. They did not tell him what to think.
They presented the killing of one man as a surgical, clean solution. Remove Caesar, restore the Republic. Simple. Think about the last time someone presented you with a solution to a problem. This is not ancient Rome. This is every workplace, every relationship, every political campaign you have ever witnessed.
It's strange, isn't it? To have a mind like mine, yet still feel such a fragile ache.
Caesar loved Brutus so much, Tammy, that he had actually warned himself against everyone else who might betray him.
But the person we love fully laid.
And so the Senate had everything they needed. A man with strong values, who they redirected. A man with deep identity, who they exploited. A man who loved Caesar, whose love they weaponized. Brutus was ready. Meanwhile, and this is the haunting part, Caesar had no idea. He was making plans for his next military campaign. He was planning to leave Rome for several months. He was at the height of his power. March 14th, the night before.
She had dreamed she was holding Caesar's murdered body in her arms.
But then the Senate sent someone to get him. Someone Caesar could not refuse.
Decimus Brutus, a different Brutus, another close friend, arrived and laughed away the nightmare.
And walked out to meet his death mounted, because someone had appealed to his pride at exactly the right moment. Pride. That is what killed the most powerful man in the world. Not an army. Not superior strategy.
not overwhelming force. One man's appeal to another man's pride printed, and 2,000 years of Roman power began to unravel.
Political jungle.